Mập, hai, ba. Well, this is a cool little strip along here. It's just door to door places to eat. You've got things like pho, you've got barbecue joints. It's just gonna slip off the bone. Look at that. Whoa. It's super hot. I'm getting splattered by the oil. I'm really tempted to have some of these on the way back. I'm here for the bokor, but these look really, really good. So a couple of weeks ago, you may or may not have seen a video I did in a neighbourhood similar to this. So today, I've come back to a different one to show you around. It has a very similar history, but not only that, I want to check out this Michelin-guided Vietnamese beef stew place that I've been keen to check out for a long time now. So we're going to go and eat that, see if we can find some other snacks and maybe chat to some people and get a feel for the neighbourhood. Let's go. So I'm pretty certain you've noticed all the flags flying from the apartments here. It happens to be the day before April 30, which is obviously one of the biggest days in the Vietnamese calendar because the 30th of April was the end of the war, and it's 51 years tomorrow. So everybody's got their flags out showing their pride. And it's a pretty cool sight, isn't it? Well, this is a cool little strip along here. It's just door to door places to eat. You've got things like pho, you've got barbecue joints, you've got wang yaos, you've got chicken and duck over there, you've got gom tam, which is like pork chops and rice. This is very cool, and I've spotted a number of places where I can go for a beer later. Chà đà miễn phí. Wow. Yeah. Có bia miễn phí. Có bia, không có bia miễn phí hả? Có. Wow. So this strip along here is quite famous for its bánh xèo, and it looks like they got the little ones like that you get in sort of Nha Trang and Phan Rang, and cái này là bánh xèo Phan Rang hả? Phan Rang Nha Trang?
Bánh xèo miền Trung.
Minh Trung? Okay, central. So it's a central style. So a little bit similar to what you would get in Phan Rang and Nha Trang. But they tell me that this is like a Danang hả? Danang và Huế, miền Trung. Wow. Is this your family?
Yeah.
So are you from Danang or Huế? Or?
Actually, my family from Quang Nai.
Quang Nai? Okay, yeah. Wow, it looks really good. And it's super hot. I'm getting splattered by the oil. I'm really tempted to have some of these on the way back. I'm here for the bokor, but these look really, really good. Just look at the oil popping off that. Whoa, they look really good. Come on, chị.
Biết nóng nữa.
Nóng quá, dạ.
Biết nóng quá.
Alright, so I've got one of the specials. I don't know how I'm going to eat it because it's pretty extravagant. It's come with a big rib in it. Wouldn't usually look like this. I think maybe they've done this because it's a Michelin sort of place, but your typical bokor doesn't usually come like this. But it looks good. Looks really tasty. So on top, onions, looks like basil. Yeah, basil mostly. Let's give it a go. And of course, a banh mi. But I'll probably need 2 or 3 of these, I reckon. That. It's just gonna slip off the bone. Look at that. Whoa. Okay. It's very tender, and it's got that normal bok or traditional sort of taste to it, so that's nice. It's rich. Look at that. Look at that. It's really good. It's not spicy at all. But I've got some sauces here that I can dunk into it to spice it up a bit. It's pretty amazing, really. Not sure how I'm going to eat it without dropping it all over me. Let's see. Oh, God. Not really sure what to do with this. So you can definitely taste the lemongrass. You can taste the anise. It's got that sort of curry kind of flavour coming through, which is great, which is traditional. And I've just smashed 2 banh mi to have it with. All right, so that was pretty good. It was tasty. It looked like bokor, and it smelled like bokor. Well, it looked like bokor in the sense that it had all the ingredients in it. It just had that big beef rib in it. All up, ended up costing me 160,000, including a drink. So typically, that particular bowl would cost me 40,000 dong or something like that, and I'd eat it in the morning. Here they serve it from, I think, sometime in the afternoon, or 10 in the morning, I think, until about 10 at night. So a little bit unusual for me to eat it for dinner. Would it be worth you coming here for that? Probably not, except that you've got this whole strip of food places along here, and I spotted this place just before, and I'm going to give this a go as well, and then we're going to go and have some dessert. Oh, here they are. Well, here I am. I'm eating bánh xèo again. It's twice in 2 weeks, but these ones are a little bit different. These are from the central coast of Vietnam, and they typically have them a little bit smaller. Well, quite a bit smaller. These are 2 here. And as someone pointed out in the video previously, that using the bánh chang is sort of more of a central thing, and they're right. It's a little bit rarer to use these papers when you eat the southern one, but you know, I mean, you can eat them however you want, can't you? And yeah, there you go. The bánh chang, it gets its name from the little grooves in there. So when they make this stuff, when it's put out onto sort of a bamboo kind of matting and allowed to sort of set or solidify or whatever from the liquid, and that leaves this print, this nice little print on it, and that's where it gets its name from. So got a couple of these to try, 9,000 each. Got the greens there, as you know, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know. It's all the usual sort of stuff. Got the nook jam with the carrot and the green papaya and the papers. So you're going to watch me butcher these again. So I wasn't planning on having these, but I saw them and I just thought they looked really good and they were worth showing you. All right, I think I might just... You've just got to ad-lib, don't you? this one looks like it's got some basil, which is cool. Now you're probably thinking that I'm being a pig after eating that bowl of bok choy, but it wasn't actually that big. It was just, I had 2 banh mi with it. So, you know, I probably shouldn't be eating this, but as I said, I noticed this as I walked past and it looked really good. There we go. I'm gonna put that there like that. And then I'm just gonna try and roll it over like that. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Được. Okay. Vui không? Vui. She was pretty impressed. Very tasty. As expected. They haven't let me down. Very good. Recommend this place. This place is quite popular, as it turns out. No surprises why. It's really good. Recommend it. I was just talking to the son, and he said they've been here for 25 years. So they're doing something right. Okay, that was excellent. Would I come back for that? 100%. In a heartbeat, excellent, and just cost me 20,000 dong. Now, when in Vietnam, you don't always have to have Vietnamese food. You can mix it up a little bit. So what I've done is I've come to this place here. It's called Thai. So it's the Thai banana pancake that is everywhere in Thailand. I don't really see it around in Vietnam much, so I'm pretty keen to try it out. How much is one?
23.
Okay. Wow, hay quá.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, cheese with banana. Anh có muốn phô mai?
Okay.
Just banana và có gì? Macaron. So they've got interesting combos. Egg and looks like egg and corn. Definitely got cheese and banana. I don't know about the cheese and banana setup. I don't really think that would go well, but it's very popular. It seems to be selling a lot. Coconut milk, chocolate and milk. Chocolat. Oh, this is mine. Oh, thank you, Em. Okay, where do I eat? Okay. Bye-bye, thank you. All right, thank you very much. Okay, so I've found myself a spot. I'm right on the corner. I've got the camera on a power box, and I'm somewhere between a mini Quang Nai and a nail salon. And across the road is a motorbike washing joint. So here it is. There it is there. Let's give it a go. I'm not an expert on these. I've had them in Thailand a few times, and they're absolutely sensational there. Very good. Not crispy though, like in Thailand. But it's a nice little snack to finish off what I had this evening. Okay, so I found this little place just off the main road where I'm going to wrap up the night with a beer. I think I've earned a beer after eating that much. Great place for food if you're in Saigon. It's probably a little bit off the beaten trail and probably not publicised as much as what other places are around town, but I did notice quite a few tourists around here on the back of motorbikes. So if you do a motorbike tour, there's a good chance that you might wind up around here somewhere. All right, well, I hope you like that one, and I hope that you're liking this particular sort of foodie series as I wait to get my motorbike license back. Once I get that back, we're going to hit the road and go to Nha Trang. Until then, I'm going to do more of these videos. All right, see you in the next one.